In this video, we're going to take a look at SmartArt in PowerPoint. And the first thing we're going to do is we've got this blank slideshow with only one title slide on it, and we're going to go put a new slide in. And the type of slide we're going to put in is just going to be title and content. And this is similar to some of the other options here where you see the little icons. Wherever you see the icons, they make it real easy for you to insert certain types of objects. And one of those objects happens to be a SmartArt graphic. So let's click on Insert SmartArt. And we get a bunch of choices here. And we'll go down the list here. We can look at all of them here, but you see by the size of the scroll bar here, it's a pretty long list. So if we go by category, we've got some options here for lists. We've got some options for a process. We've got cycles, hierarchy, relationships, a matrix, a pyramid, picture. Those are SmartArt options where you can insert pictures. And then we've got something for office.com. I'm not sure exactly how these fall into a single category, but we've got some more options here for SmartArt. What we're going to do is we're just going to look at list here, and we'll take a simple option for a list. Let's just try a vertical box list here, and we'll get something that looks like this, and let's click on OK. And we get a default of 3 items here. You can just click and you can start putting in text, and down here and click and item number 2, and click down here and item number 3. And there is a little arrow down here, and if you click on that arrow, what it will do is it will open up a simple text box over here where you can insert your items. And frequently it's easier just to put them over here than it is to put them over here on the right. And this bulleted list over here can be have subordinate items in it. Now if I click there or hit enter there and type in a new line, but before that I'm going to hit tab to make that a subordinate item, and then we'll call that item 1A. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like over here. And then if I go to the end of item 2 and hit enter and hit tab to make it a subordinate item, then I'll type in item 2A. And then we'll go here and hit enter and tab, and we'll do item 3A. Okay, so these, whatever is one level below this, will be underneath item 1, and this is the way it's going to look with this particular SmartArt. And they don't all have to have the same number of sub-items, so I could do item 1B, and this will have 2 items, the other 2 will just have 1 item. Okay, once you've done that, you can close this again. And you can also do the editing here. If I wanted to add, a third item here, I just click on the end, get my I-beam, and hit the enter key and type in item 1C, and you can keep on going. We've got some options up here for changing colors. If you click on this and let's pause the mouse, you can get a live preview with some different colors here for your SmartArt. And a lot of them just do basically shades of one color, but there's usually a colorful row in here that will give you some different colors. So we'll pick one of these. And then we've got some options here for styles, and each one has a name, and if you pause the mouse over it, you'll see the name, and you'll see some changes in what appears down below. And some of these are kind of 3D, and if you click on the more button over here, there's actually a list of 3D options. And this is polished, and this is inset, and those two actually look quite a bit the same, kind of a 3D effect. And cartoon is similar, and powder is kind of 3D, but everything's kind of grayed out a little bit. And then you can do some funny stuff with rotating them, but you're probably not going to want to do that. So you can change colors, you can change the style, and it's pretty easy to do. If you want to edit, just go down here and click on where you want to edit. Again, if I want to add a 4th item over here, go to item 3A and hit enter, and then to get it back out to the top level, do a shift tab, and we'll type in item number 4 and hit enter, and then do a tab, and item 4A, enter item 4B, and so on. Okay, and let's not do that last one there. I don't want to make sure that doesn't show up any place on my SmartArt here. And if you don't like this particular, let's close this. And if you don't like this particular layout, there are some other options here. And I'm just doing a live preview here by pausing the mouse over each one of these. And you can find something that you think looks appropriate for whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so we've got a bunch of other choices here. I kind of like that one. So you can check it out and you know, do the live preview and see if there's something that you like. Now another option is let's go down and let's insert another slide here. Let's go to our home tab and let's do a new slide, and we'll do another title and content. And another option is to take some existing text and convert it back into SmartArt. It has to be a bulleted list, and it uses the hierarchy or the indentation of the bulleted list to determine what the hierarchy is going to be in the SmartArt. And I just realized we don't actually need to do another slide here. We can take this existing SmartArt right here, and if we go to our SmartArt tools and click on design, is a convert option over here on the right. There's also a reset. If I click on reset, it just goes back to the original default. Let's undo that because I kind of like the colors. And now there's a convert option here, and we can convert it into text. So let's click on that. And when I convert it into text, it just becomes a bulleted list. Okay. And if you already have a bulleted list and you decide later on that it doesn't look the way you want it to look, you'd rather fancy it up a little bit by doing some SmartArt. Just select the whole box here, so make sure you got a solid line around the outside, not a dotted line. So click on the edge and get the solid line. And if we go to our, this is actually on the Home tab. If you go to the paragraph group here, there's an option to convert to SmartArt. And you can pick whichever one you want. So I'm going to pick the vertical block list here, and there it is. Now I've lost my formatting from before, so you have to go in and do your own individual formatting, but it's real easy to change something from a bulleted list into SmartArt. You don't have to retype it. You can just go to the Home tab and tell it you want to convert it into SmartArt. Okay, let's go up here and check out our design. Usually there's some options over here for you know, changing the order of the items in the list, you know, moving them up or down a level. For example, if I do move up here on item 1C, it just moves it, it rearranges them here. If I want to demote or promote, so let's take item 1C and let's do a promote, and it takes that and puts it up on the level above. And since item 1B followed that, it becomes a subordinate item to item 1C. So you can do it this way. Actually, I think the easiest way is just to view your text pane. That's another way to get your text pane visible, and just type stuff in here, and you know, either do a tab at the beginning of the line to move it over, or do a shift tab like I'm going to do right now, and to promote it back up to a higher level. So there's all kinds of options for SmartArt here, and after you've picked one, you'll get these options up here. If that's not enough, you can go click on more layouts, and it takes you back to everything here. And you know, the list ones are all kind of similar. The process ones are all kind of similar, and so on as you go down the list here. So each category will do similar things, but each particular choice here has its own unique style. And really the only way that you can figure out how to do it is, you know, pick one and start playing with it and see if it meets your needs. And that's pretty much all we're going to talk about for SmartArt.